Hi everyone, welcome into this week's my weekly CBS Fix. This week's video is dedicated to my brother Shalom David and my sister-in-law Sarah upon the birth of their son Meir. May you have a lot of nachas. This is also a video dedicated to my good friend Yisrael Amichai ben Sarah. May Hashem send you a complete recovery. This week's parsha, Parshas Vayikra, we learn about the topic of different sacrifices. I understand sacrifices is generally a topic that makes people feel queasy or uncomfortable or weird. Nevertheless, it is Torah, and nevertheless, we also have to understand that it is the ultimate form of service to Hashem that we actually hope for and pray for every single day in the Shemona Esrei, and the 18 blessings that we make to Hashem every single day, in the blessing of Raje Hashem Elokeinu, in which we request from Hashem to allow us to return to that service. At the end of the Shemona Esrei, we mention it as well, that our day should be with the future building of the Beis HaMikdash, and so therefore it is actually the utmost way to serve Hashem, and therefore we have to learn about it. Now, one of the details about this week's parsha is that the elevation offering of a rich person would be different than that of a poor person. The rich person would have to bring an animal, and the poor person would also have to bring a turtle dove, a yonah. Another difference between their two is where the blood of those animals are placed. The blood of the rich person is placed on top of the altar, whereas the blood from the fowl is placed on the lower part of the altar. And the question is, why? Why should it be like that? What is the lesson that we're supposed to learn from it? So intrinsically, the sins of the wealthy person is a lot of times wealthy people, the money that they have gets to them and they start thinking, I'm the one that gave the money, and in a certain that made the money, and in a certain sense, Hashem is kind of out of the picture. The poor person, he believes in Hashem, but he's upset at Hashem in a certain sense that Hashem has put him in the predicament or the situation that he is currently in. And therefore, when they bring a sacrifice, where they place the blood actually helps to atone for that, because the blood is on top for the wealthy person to remind him, you have to look on top. Don't look at yourself, look down below at your materialistic things you have, but rather look up. And that's why his blood is placed at the top of the altar. When I say his blood, I mean the blood of his animal that he brings. Whereas the poor person, he believes in Hashem, so he doesn't have to look up, but he is upset about his situation that he's in. And that's why he is told to focus down. What is focusing down? Focusing down means focusing on the earth. In the earth, there's many, many blessings that he has and he gains from it. And he has to internalize that there's actually so many blessings that he actually does have in his life, and his focus has just been on his own predicament and not on really the blessings that he actually does have in his life. The materialistic blessings that each and every single one of us have is beyond number. And our job is to focus on it. Additionally, he also has to realize when he's looking down, he has to realize that as bad as he might think that he has it, there are other people that have it worse. And so therefore, there's an obligation of thanks on his part. To add one other note, the reason why it's blood is because blood certainly represents the soul of a person, ki adam hu nefesh, and it's through our souls that we serve Hashem. And so therefore, when there's a sprinkling of blood, the blood is what reminds each and every individual that brings a sacrifice that it's supposed to make an impact, an impression on the soul. And certainly, as our sages teach us, many midrashim teach us, that many people, when they would bring a sacrifice, it would certainly bring them to a level of recognition that Hashem is in charge, that everything that Hashem does is good, and it really should be their own blood that's on there, and in God's infinite kindness, He allows it to be the blood of an animal. But whether you're looking up or looking down, realize that your best friend is Hashem Himself. Have a great Shabbos. Thank you for listening.